Hi, Coach Shawn here, and today we're going to talk about the pain your alienated child has caused you. First, I'm going to talk about why your child did what they did, the different types of alienated children, those that align and those who actively caused harm by acting as an agent for the alienating parent versus those who ride the fence, and finally, what to do with the pain you are experiencing. Let's talk about the alienated child. Every child is different. They are all born with their own empathy, ability to reason, and how they are inclined to handle conflict. Some children are old souls and see the alienating parent for exactly who they are, and those are a blessing. But others are not given that discernment, and still others lack empathy like their alienating parent. The hardest one is the one who has been fooled. The one that lacks empathy, as painful as that is, they have chosen their destiny, and acceptance of who they are will be the hardest part. With those children, you typically know what you are dealing with, and you can relinquish the hope that they will likely come around. Let's talk about the alienated child that has been fooled or may be still riding the fence. That is the child that dips in and out. Often, the alienated parent feels like they had a good relationship with that child and just can't understand why they continue to pull back. That child is still finding their place in the family dynamic. They may eventually align with the alienating parent and possibly siblings, or they may grow emotionally and stand on their own. Only time will tell with that type of personality. Does that mean you just sit and wait? No. Your emotions, just because you are the parent, are not to be used like a yo-yo. You are still the parent and should be treated with dignity and respect. That means no chasing, no emotional texts, no asking why. I say this because your child is already being pulled and does not have the emotional maturity to understand why, much less process those emotions and then convey them to you in such a way that will move in a healthy direction. That takes life experience and a confidence in standing up for what they want, not the alienating parents dynamic, and possibly even to siblings and grandparents. They simply are not there emotionally. Will they ever get there? I cannot answer that, but I can say that just because they are trying to find their bearings in it all does not mean you have to sit on the sidelines taking whatever you can get. Sometimes patrolling access and not continuing to extend the olive branch can help an adult child to rethink the relationship with the alienated parent. Now, why is that? Because if you stay stuck doing the same song and dance, so will they. And in order for the dynamics to change, you have to change the song. That looks like letting them know how much you love them, but not always being the one to carry the toll of the relationship. They have to want a relationship with you more than they want to please the alienating parent. They have to become strong enough emotionally to take the heat the family dynamic is inevitably going to throw their way for wanting to have a relationship with you, their own parent. And that is not easy for anyone, especially someone in their 20s or 30s. Some people never get there. Actually, few do. Now, for the parents who have alienated children that took an active role in your character assassination, who locked arms with the alienating parent and thought, oh, isn't this fun? Who felt the control and hurt you maliciously, that is a completely different animal. That pain runs deep and has many tunnels of anger. That child or children not only saw you as the bad parent, but actively took it upon them to hurt you. Sometimes this is done to prove loyalty to the alienating parent. Sometimes it is done because they lack empathy. Whatever the reason, this one is painful beyond measure. Now let's talk about the different levels of pain. The children that say things out of anger or frustration, we all do, versus others who take an active role in your character assassination or pain. The alienated child that ghosts, dips in and out, says mean things, or acts like a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum. I will not excuse their behavior. I will say that it is indicative of a child under immense control, and the one they take it out on is the safe parent, and that lands directly on you. That child is typically the one that dips in and out, wants you there, but then retreats because they still are controlled by or afraid of the alienating parent. It can also be cognitive dissonance. They have been told things about you or witnessed your pain from the abuse, and they do not know why they feel the love towards you that they do, but they feel afraid to get close to you. So what do you do with that pain, with that child? There is no easy answer here except to say, keep denying the false narrative that was created about you with your actions. Stay loving, but not a doormat. Stay available, but not performative. Set the example of what a parent is supposed to be. Realize that the pain you are experiencing does not come from your child not loving you. It comes from them battling the narrative about you that is going on inside their own head. Now, what to do with the pain of an alienated child that actively participated in hurting you? This one requires accountability on a whole different level. Most alienated children who have participated in such measures either lack empathy, like their alienating parent, or have done harm on a level that to self-reflect and make amends would cause such shame that they never do. Some do, but very few. Why? Because generally speaking, if you can do that to your parent, you typically already fall into the camp of no empathy. So what do you do if this is your situation? You forgive them, if you can, for you, not for them. So you do not carry the anger. You realize that they made a choice and it is their life journey. They made choices that will affect them for the rest of their lives. You mourn the relationship. You grieve. Grief is not linear. Your love will remain, but in time you won't need to pull what happened off the shelf as often. You'll be able to leave it there for a while and find happiness in other things before you pull the memory back down and look at it. For these parents, my heart goes out to you. That is a betrayal of immense proportion, and for that pain, I am truly, truly sorry. In the case of a child who hurt you and acted like a proxy for the alienating parent, if they should ever return, accountability is the only way forward. As I said at the beginning of this video, every situation and every child is different. You know your situation better than I do. But if you want my eyes on your specific situation, you can book a session using my link in my bio. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.